The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Brian Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 47. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. We got our normal crew minus Brian. He's out today. He'll be back tomorrow and help us get ready for Jets versus Cowboys. Talking about the Jets offense tomorrow. But today,
okay?
Me?
Yeah. You gonna make it?
I am what they call a chatty patty. I could talk all day by myself if needed.
Here's the question, though. Here's the question. Because it's like your go-to to be like, so Brian Broaddus, you always call him full name, Brian Broaddus. So today are you going to say,
Exactly.
So Ambar Garcia? Like, are you going to go all in like that and maybe even grace us with a Derek Eagleton? Like, how you gonna make that work?
This is the problem. When I'm talking to my friends way back in the day prior to me working here, and I was just a fan of this place, I would talk to my friends, hey, did you see what Brian Broaddus said? I would always say that a bunch. So when I'm talking to, hey, you seen Brian Broaddus? So when I talk to him, Brian, like it's a bad tick that I'm trying to stop. Because people think I'm doing
tick.
It's people think it's a bit, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was a bit.
It's not a bit. I'm saying
hilarious.
Brian Broaddus because as a fan of him, my whole life I just been saying, oh yeah, Brian. But Derek.
You wasn't a fan of Derek, so it's just like Derek is Derek.
Derek Eagleton is too long, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Derek Eagleton, Ambar, but Brian Broaddus, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of flows.
It flows a little bit, so I need to stop saying Broaddus.
Yeah,
I need to say Brian.
I was gonna say now you like y'all are friends. You don't need to call them out
like bruh or dog.
Legal name. Yeah.
But it'll happen at some point. But it ain't gonna happen today, tomorrow, or Friday. Maybe next year.
Well, he ain't gonna be here today, so it will happen today.
It's all good.
We won't call him Brian Broaddus today, but he'll be back tomorrow. So we'll be back in on tomorrow. All right, here's where I want to start today. So I had no idea yesterday when I got onto X that I thought I was just making a random tweet about something that I thought was pretty interesting.
I see what you say.
And it turned into a whole thing, and people kind of went at it from a lot of different angles. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory, and it seemed to me like it was like, okay, this makes a ton of sense. And by the way, I think the vast majority of people agree, like this actually makes a lot of sense. There were some who disagreed, so I thought, hey, it's a good idea for us to bring this on the air. And I want to get your opinions because I respect you guys more than I respect a lot of others.
Thanks.
So let me lay out for you what my thought was. PFF put out a graphic, and you may have seen the graphic where they said that Micah was the highest graded player in the game, Cowboys versus the Packers.
Sure.
Now, my tweet was, if that's true, and he was the best player on the field, and Dallas still scored 40 points, what does that say about the relative importance of a dominant edge? Your thoughts?
Derek Eagleton, you're not wrong. First and foremost, I think it varies. If you do this over 32 teams, then maybe the average would be more likely that the dominant edge would take a game over more. But when Dak Prescott is in his bag, getting rid of the ball on time, quickly. I also think this has a lot to do with, Shotty and all those guys. Like, hey, man, send help until, or send this, wear him down over the game. Shouts out to Nate Thomas, but he came in when it was nice. He came in late, and they was tired, and he was revved up, so he got a real good matchup for him. I think
in your face.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a fantastic point, Derek Eagleton. But results are at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So Nate can go out there and be like, oh, yeah, I'm just the best player in the game. I blocked him one-on-one, da-da-da. But I think Dak neutralized him. I think the offense neutralized him, And at times in the run game, I think Tyler Guyton kind of neutralized him a little bit. I would love to know PFF how they get their ratings. I don't mind how they put stuff together and be like, oh, when we're grading like this player does that. That's cool. But their grades and stuff like that, I don't really know how to do it. to the blind eye, even going back and watching film, if you hyper look at Micah Parsons, yeah, he made some plays, but
Micah had a great game.
Fantastic
Let's not gloss over that. I'm saying he had a fantastic game.
But watching the game, it was straight. We were straight, you know? So to your point, Derek, I can make the argument that what Kenny Clark is doing for Cowboys run game wise, I ain't gonna say that. That's gonna start a fight. But
I was about to say, you want to go there for it?
That's gonna start a fight, man. But just cool, man. Michael was good, man, but Dak was better. I say it like that.
There you go.
I mean,
yeah,
you hit the nail right on the head with that. I mean, that's where it comes down to. But you also can't negate those games that he is or has been very impactful. There is value to that. It just depends who the opponent is and how the offense is able to keep him under control. One of the things that we talked about yesterday was them getting him tired. You know, when you're having to put so much on that person and having to, let's say with the run game, having him on the move like that, he gets exhausted by the end of the game, and that just facilitates what you're doing as an offense. So I think it all comes down to Dak having a really great game and also what the offensive line was able to do. But I wouldn't say, let's say if we were to face them every week, I don't think that would be the constant result. I think they would find a way to free up Micah and let Micah get to the quarterback. But luckily, we don't play them every week. But we've seen them when he played for Dallas. How did he look like against Philly? Games like that, I think those were games that he struggled with most often than not.
Right. And I guess that's the point I'm making. This is not to say Micah can't be dominant. That's not what I was saying. Sure. The point of what I was saying is the relative importance of a dominant edge in today's game. And what I mean by that is, I'll challenge you.
Sure.
Think about right now who are the best edge players in the National Football League.
Myles Garrett hadn't done nothing with the Browns. Watt hasn't done his, like, big Super Bowl wise, right? They haven't done anything with Pittsburgh. Crosby hasn't done much with the Raiders. Parsons hasn't done much with the Cowboys, to be fair.
There you go. And that's my point. I don't think that in today's NFL, having even a dominant, the best edges in the NFL, that is not a prerequisite for team success. Yeah. What is a prerequisite for team success is having a dominant quarterback. Mm-hmm. And so when you start thinking about roster construction, if you're going to pay Dak as the highest paid player in the National Football League, is it a smart idea to also pay an edge to be the highest paid non-quarterback player in the National Football League? That's what the point I was trying to make. Sure. The importance of that position, the importance of the edge position is not as great as quarterback. It's one thing.
Brother, preach.
Talk to him,
brother,
Nate.
Preach.
Talk to him, Nate.
This guy
Talk to him, Nate.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
I was right to him, Nate. I was right.
He scared the hell out of me.
Look, I heard a loud noise. I looked over there, and wasn't nobody up there.
Hey.
And he kicked down the door with a Batman shirt on, like he's Batman.
In today's world, you can't roll up on
you.
people like that. I'm actually kind of shocked and a little bit disappointed that neither one of y'all had my back and jumped up to be like, say that, man.
Neither. He was behind me too.
Nate is an older gentleman, but he has that old man strength where if I get close to him, I'm done. So I'm going to defend
you feel it when he
from
talks
over here.
to you because he'll grab your shoulder.
Sure.
And sometimes when he grab your shoulder, it's like, Nate, for real.
Long as he didn't get you right.
Man, the way my heart dropped.
I like stop. But
y'all hear my point.
Hey, your point.
My point is
no, I didn't. I forgot after that scare.
Right. It is not a prerequisite to team success. And the other thing about that is you can take a guy like Micah out of the game.
Sure.
Even being he had a dominant game. The difference was, if you go back and watch that game, there were at least 5 or 6 times I saw in that game where Dak could have, and I'm saying this with some hyperbole.
Sure. Dak
could have died on the field. Like literally, he was coming for Dak. And but for the fact that Dak, get rid of the ball.
Sure.
Saved him. One time I will say Tyler Smith saved him. I don't know if you saw that one.
Well, he left his guy came over.
He beat Guyton.
Yeah.
And Tyler Smith kind of saw him out of the corner of his eye and just basically lunged at him. Yeah. And he didn't take him out. All he did was just kind of diverted him just a little bit, enough to where he didn't hit Dak. But he was going to have a free shot at Dak.
Sure.
So my point is that I think a quarterback on the other side of that, he actually covers problems.
Yeah.
So, for example, in that game, there were a number of times where the offensive linemen didn't quite get their block on Micah. Dak getting rid of the ball covered them. That's the difference. A quarterback, a really good quarterback, has the ability to cover those kinds of works. A defensive end, if a team wants to take him out of the game, they can dedicate enough resources to take him out of a game, and then it creates or the quarterback can just beat him by getting rid of the ball quick, and you can negate a player like that.
Well, it just goes back to where he's at in his career currently. I think it's 10 years now? Or I get confused if it's 10 or 11. Dak.
10.
Yeah.
But you just see the way he has progressed in that sense, because I remember very well, and I'm sure he does too, those years where it only took one lineman, a starter, to be out of the game, and then he is just under pressure constantly, and it's just hard to get the game going. And in this case, you got 2 starters that came out of the game, then plus one that with Tyler Guyton getting hurt, he comes out as well. So even in those instances where the offensive line wasn't perfect, I still give them a ton of credit for the way that they were able to overall manage that game in protecting Dak as a whole, because in years past, it only took one guy to ruin the whole game. And you see the changes now, and to me, that's very refreshing and motivating to see the progress there, combined with Dak's ability that he currently has in the confidence that he brings into his game.
I'll say it's much better when you have a group of rushers. Like, it's more about your rush group as opposed to just one guy. If Myles Garrett had Micah Parsons and they were both on the same line,
That'd be scary.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah,
like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
But it's always like Myles Garrett and his group of guys, and it's TJ Watt and Nick Herbig or something, right? Or Micah and Tank Lawrence. So what you want is this group to where you can get pressure from anywhere. The guys that can win one-on-one matchups, not just one guy that could just beat anybody. I hate giving credit to the Eagles. Them characters made me sick. I would have cussed if we weren't here. But Hassan Reddick is cool, and he was a guy that can take on double teams, right? But when he's gone, when Milton Williams get busy, and then Jalen Carter gets busy, and then Nolan Smith, so you need a line full of guys, and I think that's what Jerry was thinking, right? Like, hey man, we don't have a Michael Parsons, but the pass rush as a whole would be fine. I think they went about it the right way. We're just not seeing the results. I think Dante Fowler can do it. We just haven't seen it. Sam and all those other guys, but it's group stuff, and stopping the run is like the first place that you go there, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, you can have pass rushes, and the Cowboys have had them, but if you can't stop the run, you never really get to rush the passer in that way. So Micah's biggest criticism, Derek, was he's a great pass rusher, but what is he going to do versus the run? Like these other guys, Crosby, Miles, Max, they're good versus the run also. Yep. So that doesn't really help Micah in that way. The same with Gary and some of these other guys on that D-line for the Packers.
Well, and when you start looking at that, I mean, it's hard to find positive on the defense, but when you talk about stopping the run and you have that area to be successful, it helps your defense as they're killing you a faster way with the passes, so then you don't get as tired in a sense. So you give more time to your offense to come back, and now we go back to your offense being the one that has to score points. But what I'm saying is, and I think we talked about it at some point, sure, I'm with y'all with the sudden death type of mentality rather than just a slow kill with a team running against you the whole game and wearing you down. So there's a positive in that area at least. Now you just gotta figure out. I
wouldn't trade what we're doing versus the run right now.
Yeah.
For what we did previous years. I love what we're doing right now. Yeah. Kenny Clark is playing. You're so. It's so weird. You're so good versus the run right now while your linebacker's playing bad. Like, that's the weird part about it.
Right, and that where you're seeing gaps in your run defense,
sure,
it's typically because your linebackers just aren't being able to get off blocks, aren't being able to get through the trash and get to the ball carrier.
Yeah, so Flus, all we got to do, I'm looking at you, Flus, all we got to do is muddy those looks and get to the pass, and we'll be all right, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't believe currently the way the defense is playing, it will get the Cowboys to the point that they want to be this season. But what I do believe is this offense and really offense and special teams, because between Butter and Kevontae Turpin returning, you got a really good special teams, one of the better units in the NFL. Yep. So between your offense and your special teams, if you can get your defense to just be middle of the road, not be at the bottom of the league, but at least be middle of the road, you can really make some. I think that's when this team could actually be a contender because of how good this offense is. If not, they could end up very similar to the Bengals from last year, where their offense is just really great, but they can't stop nobody. And if you can't stop nobody in today's NFL, good luck trying to outscore everybody every single week. You'll outscore them sometimes, as we've seen this year. Yeah. You'll outscore them sometimes. Sometimes you'll end up in a tie. But at the end of the day, if you're only relying on the ability to outscore everybody, you just can't do it. It's too much pressure to do that every single week.
3 more punts. That's all you need.
There you go. All right, we're going to take our first break. We will come back. Even though Brian's not here, he did send me his question, so we're going to dive inside the brain of Brian Broaddus while he is absent.
Nate, come on.
Yeah, bring Nate on. That's when he should come through.
Come on.
Nate can grab with us.
All right, bro. We'll be back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here. As the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys, you know I take cookware seriously, especially when it comes to America's team. So when the Cowboys are away, I'm putting my Yeti cast iron skillets to work to make my game day favorites for friends and family. I'm talking chicken fried steak, skillet queso, and peach cobbler. And just like the Cowboys are forever, so are these heirloom cast iron skillets. Check out the full line of skillets on Yeti.com or at a Yeti store near you.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Don't put off getting your oil change, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. They're so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. That means you won't even have time to show off your best touchdown celebration. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. It is the second segment of the break. We are live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. This segment is brought to you by blockchain.com. All right, let's dive inside the brain of Brian Broaddus. He is not here, but he did send me his questions, so let's go through them. Question number 1. Is Turpin proven to you that he's much more than a gadget player? That's a Brian question, ain't it?
Yeah, I said I wasn't going to say nothing bad about them people no more, man. But I tweeted this morning. I was like, man, it took Mike McCarthy 3 years to figure out how to use Turpin. And I don't want to talk about that, man, but he don't work here no more, right? But when he's at the press conference, right? Hey, coach, what do you think about getting Turpin involved? We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna da-da-da-da-da. We're gonna but hey, Turpin's the right kind of, and he'll never he'll have like a big game.
Yep.
Never see him no more, right? I'm like, man, Shotty and company in here like at 2.5 weeks, and Turpin's doing like wide receiver things, right? And if you look at how the game was last week, you would think that Pickens would be the guy that does Lamb stuff. Pickens just kept doing Pickens stuff. He just got more targets. Turpin was the one doing Lamb stuff in terms of I'm going to move all over the formation, different parts of the field. I'm going to attack you short, medium, downfield. Turpin made a tough catch over the middle one time.
Yep.
Toe tapping on the sideline, and that's a tough throw because Turpin 5'7", man. Yep. So that got to fit it perfectly. And Turpin toe tapping, catch, fall.
Yeah.
You don't get that from Lucky Whitehead or something. He don't work in no more neither.
I ain't heard that name in a long time.
It's just so different. So I think it's about time that we as a fan base media group that we all look at Turpin and just move him on from the gadget guy title. It's not just I'm running jet sweeps and coming off the field or I'm faking a reverse coming on the field. Like Turpin's getting busy and defenses have to account for that. You can actually see corners overcompensating because they know that Turpin can fly. So Turpin ends up being a good route runner by default because he moves quick and they're having to account for that. So shouts out to Turpin. He is definitely getting busy as a wide receiver for sure.
Well, he started right off at training camp at the beginning. You saw the quickness, the speed, the ability for him to make a lot of those breaks and just take off. And we've seen that before. And sometimes you're like, man, maybe they know more than we do.
Sure.
And I'm talking about in the past, right? Maybe they're seeing something that we're not, and that's why.
They don't work it no more. Call them out. Yeah.
Nah. Maybe, but then when you see it happening now, and then it being successful, you're like, wow, man, it makes you wonder all the other times with other players that you're like the missed opportunities that have occurred in the past. So with him, yeah, absolutely. He's more than just a gadget player. He's shown that. He's taken advantage of every single rep. And the fact that he has so much toughness, because one of the things that concerns me is like, okay, you have him out there that much. It's like, oh, can he put up with so many snaps and playing for that long? And he's a tiny guy, but he's strong. Yeah. You've seen the way he'll just boom push back, and I think he's very deserving of what he's getting, and he should be getting a little more every week. If he can take it, then why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. The interesting thing always for me was if you go back and look at him, and you guys study film with these college guys.
Yes, sir.
When he was in college, he was a receiver. He wasn't just a return guy. He was a receiver, and he was a really good receiver. And they used him in a lot of the ways that you're seeing now that the Cowboys are using him. So it always seems strange to me that the Cowboys couldn't seem to quite, for the last several years, couldn't quite figure out how to use him as more than just a gadget player.
Sure.
Because that's what he's always been, a player that could do more than just be a gadget player. So we saw it. You're right, Amber. I mean, we had the benefit of watching training camp, and so we saw all through training camp that this staff understood how they should use him and were committed to using him in a lot of different ways. As a runner out of the backfield, as a pass catcher out of the backfield, and certainly as a wide receiver as well. And so it's no surprise that now we're starting to see that in games, and he's making a contribution, especially with CD out. All right, let's move on to
go ahead. Quickly. I think part of it is that these old men got to get out of their way. If we knew anything about Mike, I hate keep saying his name, but he was one of those guys where, I want you to play all the receivers.
Deep beef in there.
He wasted a lot of our time. These coaches, and look, it's not just him, all over the league, right? Like they have a type, right? Yeah. It's like I want my wide receiver to be able to play X, Y, Z, whatever, and I want him to be a certain size. I want a big slot receiver. So maybe that was the reason why you would keep him on the sideline, to where if you get one of these younger coaches, they just take whatever you good at and we just gonna rumble with it. Jordan Lewis's career got wasted a bunch because of that.
Yep.
I don't like small corners, so I'm not gonna play small corners. Jordan Lewis, fantastic. He's fantastic. And that's all I have to say about that. My bad. Go ahead.
I know, that's good stuff. All right, let's move on. Second question. Has the play caller or the running game been most beneficial to Dak?
I'll let Ambar go first because I talk a lot.
Of course, this is coming from Brian. He always makes it.
We're inside the brain of Brian Broaddus.
You know what? Okay, it's both, but hold on. If I had to pick one, I will go with the play.
The play running back.
Well, the thing is that I'm trying to process, because this is the first time you hit us with this question, right? I'm trying to process because I do love the relationship that Dak has created with the play caller, Brian Schottenheimer. Their relationship right off the bat, they're shown to be very vocal with each other. Brian has shown to be able to listen to what Dak has to say and take that into consideration and apply it. You know, it's a relationship that works. And with that, I'm seeing a game, and we keep talking about Dak's success, and obviously it is always helpful when you have a good running game. But at the same time, we've seen in previous years, all throughout Dak's career, that we've always talked about that for him to be successful, he needs all these other elements to be working around him. And this is a time where we've seen him, regardless of the situation, he's thriving. And I hate this question because it just goes hand in hand. You can't talk about a successful quarterback without giving appreciation to what is happening with the running game, at least in Dallas. So I don't like your question because it's both.
I'll say this. It is both, but it's more one way for me. First of all, I don't like this new rhetoric that Dak just got good this year. There's a lot of talking points going around. Dak's been led the league in offense and all this kind of stuff, QBRs and all this, number 2 in the MVP race and all this. But if there's one thing that Tom Moore, Josh McDaniels, Bruce Arians, Sean Payton, one thing that they didn't do is they didn't get in the way of their top-tier quarterback. They didn't make things difficult for no reason. They either helped out and they'll ask questions. Hey, what do you like? What do you want to do? That's what you want to do? We're going to put this in offense. And that's what they'll do. We saw, and I'm not going to say his name, we saw this cat come in, the Kellen Moore, Linehan tree. It was all working. It was fine. It was a good offense there. Let's switch everything and turn it into this slants, dragging concepts, running upfield, turning around. We're going to make it this. And Dak all of a sudden is a tight window throw quarterback. That's a good sounding stat in theory how it sounds, but it means is that guys aren't getting open. So Dak has to make quick reads, get the ball, You want Dak to be free. So what I think Schottenheimer does, and this may be a young coach thing because he just got the job and he got a lot of energy for it. Hey Dak, what do you like? What are some of the things you want to do? I'm not gonna get in your way. And Shotty probably got a big sheet called Dak's favorite calls, and Dak knows those calls. Mm-hmm. And they got this synergy that's just working right now. It's 100% the play caller. Because if the play caller was different, Dak all of a sudden would be looking like a weird quarterback going like, man, why can't Dak get going? Why can't this offense get going? Dak looks like Dak's been a top-tier quarterback. He's back to that now. Took a couple years off when some people took over play calling. And because of play calling, your run game kind of gets good as well. Because of Dak being great, your run game kind of gets good as well off the back of that. Shouts out to Clayton Adams as well. But Dak been getting busy. And shouts out to Schottenheimer for acknowledging that.
Well, also, I think what has been very, very beneficial for Schottenheimer is the fact that he was here during Mike McCarthy. And he was he was the offensive coordinator. McCarthy was the one making the play calls and all of that. But that led for Brian to be able to see with his own eyes, this is not working. Obviously, he didn't have that role necessarily, but I think there were some issues there. But you get to see it. Mm-hmm. This is not working. This is not what's best. And now moving forward, and I truly believe that's why his conversation with Jerry Jones as he was getting interviewed for the job went so well, because he was able, and I don't want to call him a fan, but just to use that as a comparison, he was able to have kind of that fan perspective of like, yes, you're in it, but not fully in it, because you're kind of watching somebody else do the job and not be, I don't know how to fully explain it, but if that makes sense. Yeah. So that helped a lot. That helped a lot for him to be able to point out the things that were not working, the things that were not catering to your quarterback, and now applying that and really, truly working in that relationship with Dak Prescott and his opinion about everything.
Ambar, do you know what dirty macking is?
Dirty macking?
Dirty macking. Derek knows. Do you know what dirty macking is?
No.
If I had to bet, because you made a fantastic point, when this process first started happening, I'm willing to bet you Shotty went to Dak and said, hey, man, I know it's like this. It can be like this. Going there and telling people that it could be like this. And then he went to them and said, Mr. Jones, I know it's like this. This is what it can be. And I already got the cosign of your quarterback. I ain't saying I know for sure, but if I had to guess, I bet you Dirty Mackin was involved. Because if you ain't got a resume, you gonna have to Dirty Mac somehow. I bet you Dirty Mackin was. Derek, do you think, since you smiling, do you think Dirty Mackin was involved since you smiling?
I'm out of that. But I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility. But
See,
I also
Derek
think,
gotta be. See, Derek, I understand.
I think the reality is that
Dirty macking
Yes,
is
ma'am.
slang for a deceptive or underhanded form of flirting or satanic. Why? I should have read that out in my head.
Yeah, you should have read it in
Often
your
done. Okay.
Yeah, read that in your
macking.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it. But no, the point you're making, and I don't think it was anything deceptive.
Not
what
deceptive.
what I do think it was is
Overly honest.
I think he was able to say to ownership, look, man, I have been dealing with your quarterback, who is your highest paid player, the highest paid player in the NFL. I have been dealing with your offensive lineman. I was dealing with the previous head coach. And based on that perspective, I'm the one person in this world right now who probably has a best understanding of why you are where you are. And so I feel like I can come in and through point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I can make a difference for you. Now, by the way, I've been dealing with your quarterback, so I know he agrees with some of this stuff. And some of this stuff, he probably feels like I can help him in those ways too.
You deserve it better, huh?
So,
Dirty Mac. Come on, Derek Eagleton.
I'm just saying, like I feel your point. I understand your point, but I do think it did put him in a really unique situation coming into this head coaching position, or at least interviewing for the head coaching position, because he was in a very unique position. It's not often the new head coach had the benefit of, without the responsibility, being in the building and being able to say, hey, this, and this could be changed, and we would be much better if we did these things.
Yeah.
Done. My definite final answer is play calling.
There you go.
Going back to last year, this just reminded me at times where you had a running game. And,
they weren't using it. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, they had a running game that was much better than the way they used it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That goes on the play caller, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're going to take our final break. We will come back. Brian still got more questions for us, so we'll go. We'll keep going in the final segment. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
We're with you. We're united. I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. Final segment of the Break Live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Brian Broaddus is not here, but Brian Broaddus is making his presence felt. We are diving into the brain of Brian Broaddus. He's got some good questions here for us. Let's keep that thing going. Here's the next question. Are you still interested in rotating these cornerbacks, or do you just want to go with 2 starters?
When I heard that the Cowboys were going to rotate corners, I thought Kyrie Elam was going to be the guy that sits down. He was playing the least best out of all of them. And, we know what Diggs can be. We had a feeling that Bland was going to do a little better. Bland kind of got picked on a little bit, but, hey, first game back, and Dobbs just seems to win Pro Bowl votes against us. That's just how he gets down. If they continue to rotate corners in the future, I would imagine it'll be a combination of Reddy on the inside and Trey and Bland on the outside, if I had to guess.
Sorry, I was.
You was reading Dirty Mackin again?
She's still diving into the Dirty Mackin thing.
No.
Dirty Mackin is fascinating.
I went for the first time, to our live stream on YouTube.
Oh.
So I was just looking at the chat.
Oh, yeah, they are.
So, yeah. So I was like.
By the way, for those out there listening, you can go over to YouTube and watch it live there. You can watch it on our app live. There's a lot of different places you can watch it live.
I'll be in that chat.
I'm like, we should use this more often. It's like. Yeah.
They got some good comments. Is there something in there that's real good that you should point out?
Well, let's see. He said, just to compare, Turpin has 11 receptions this season. Going back to that Turpin conversation, his career high is 12. And we're at the beginning.
I didn't know that. His career high for receptions in a year was 12?
I believe so, yeah.
That's what this person said. I don't know. I cannot confirm. But
I thought it was closer to 16. It's right up in there.
But the fact that we're, week 4, week 5?
That is malpractice.
Wow. That is...
type of targets matter,
I didn't
too.
realize it was that low.
Yeah, it was low.
Troy Moore, he also points out how Turpin helps in the blocking game when he's out there blocking as well. Going back to his tiny little body, but he's so powerful.
Little body.
But he's so impressive. And I've seen some of those blocks. He can,
Turpin's blocking is actually so brilliant and fascinating because he's not powerful, but he moves in one direction so fast that it can't, like the mass, I don't know the scientific whatever, but the mass and speed goes in one direction and it creates the force.
Oh, look at this. The chat.
Ambar is loving it.
Everybody say, what up, Ambar? I love you, Ambar.
Oh, God.
She said it in Spanish.
Head just, boom, 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 boom. Head just blowing up.
What the next question is?
I know. We on the next question.
I just discovered a different type of connection right now. So this is
that's what I'm
great.
doing right here. Like I'm always tapped in with.
Yeah, I see Voch chatting. Hey, where's my gang? My gang.
Oscar says, Derek never thought he would have heard the term "dirty mackin" ever on the break.
No,
when he started this show years ago, but now here we are.
No, Nick would have never used it.
Of course,
Nick would have never used that term. I'm just gonna say Nick would have never thrown it out. So yeah. All right, here we go. This is the question. We're back onto the question. Are you still interested in rotating cornerbacks, or do you just want to go with the 2? I think we were on you, Amber. You already said
your answer.
Just give whatever answer. Say it again. Say my answer again, because it's the right answer. So it's
is it?
Yeah, of course.
I actually disagree with you, by the way.
That's cool. Perfect.
Let's see. I'm not fully satisfied just yet with what was done in this previous game. I did see some improvement, but still, that's where I'm struggling with giving you the right answer, because maybe go with the 2 another week and see where you're at that point. But right now, you're still giving up huge plays. We've seen that, and that has been a big problem for this secondary. And I don't know if that is just something that you need to adjust with the help of your safeties and create some other game plan there, but I don't have an answer for you because I'm not satisfied yet, even with that change.
Look, the way I look at it is right now, I don't think there's a single cornerback on this team that I would say is playing at their top level, at the level I have most become accustomed to seeing them play. And because of that, I'm comfortable with the idea of continuing to rotate them until that settles in. Because at the very least, what it does, it forces the offense to play different styles of cornerbacks at different times in the game. and they don't know who's going to be in front of them at any given moment. So you can't adapt to, I know I can beat, and I'm not saying this is it, but let's say, for example, Bland. I know I can beat Bland deep because I'm faster than him. Yeah. Well, if you line up and now you got somebody else on you who is faster than Bland, now maybe you can't beat him. And so it changes kind of how you have to approach that. So until they settle in and I'm getting the level of play from the cornerbacks that I have come to expect, then rotate them and just keep a fresh guy out there and let them all keep getting better until you get to a point where you can make that determination. I think it's better long-term to have a set group because that group can gel together more. But I think right now, I don't think any of them is playing to that level to where these are the guys that definitely should be out there. And this guy needs to be sitting down.
I'm excited, though, to see more of Bland. And we have talked about him. We know what he can do. Sure. But health-wise, in the way that he's moving around, he looks really good. I know it was his first comeback, but I'm expecting him to continue to get better, more going back to his regular form. And we talked about Trevon Diggs the other day. I'm actually, I 100% believe that after Schottenheimer's words out in the media, I do think he's going to take that and it's going to light up a different fire inside of him to where he's going to go out there and hopefully we slowly start to see him. Or no slow. I don't want nothing slow. We start to see him.
It's week 5.
Yeah.
Everyone's still waiting.
Yeah. I'm like, at one point it's got to kick in already. But yes, hopefully we get to see him be that Trevon Diggs that he once was.
All right. Let's move to the next question. Are these receivers starting to find their rhythm in this offense? Let's talk about guys like Jalen Tolbert, Ryan Flanoy. We already talked about Turpin. Jonathan Mingo may be coming back. He may have his window open this week. We'll see how that goes. But all that being said, do you think the receivers are starting to find their rhythm in this offense?
Yeah, for sure. And part of that is Dak being good. Dak's always been a guy to elevate people. Randall Cobb, when he was an old man, was able to do well in this system. Guys like Dalton Schultz will be much better here than he was in other places. So yeah, that's how Dak typically operates. If it was another quarterback throwing the ball to Flournoy, Turpin, and Tolbert, who knows what that even looks like? But Ford's the guy.
Yeah, I think the fact, and I don't want to take any credit away from Tolbert. Mm-hmm. Because I do think he's a player that really does put in the work and works hard. Sure. But the fact that we have seen him make some of those really good plays and start to see him kind of trending upwards, it makes me curious and excited to see what Mingo could potentially do now with a full healthy quarterback and with the solidified offense, in the sense that he, I believe, will have a specific role and hopefully thrive in that, because even what I saw last year for Mingo, he has stuff that gets me excited, but we haven't seen it come to fruition because it's either been a bad throw or this and that, and it just doesn't work. So I'm excited to see him get incorporated into this receiver group, but I do like how they're continuously progressing, and the fact that CeeDee Lamb, him being out last week, they were still able to be a very working offense. It's something that in the past we couldn't say that before.
Well, I think here's my thing. I think all of this is a result of George Pickens. And I shouldn't say all of it. A good part of it is a result of George Pickens, because what it did was it slid everybody down the depth chart by one spot. I think you look at somebody like Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, I don't think was a great number 2 last year. I think he's a really good number 3, right? I think Turpin, you got the 3A, 3B between him and Turpin. Flanoy may not be a number 3, but right now he could be a number 4 that can get you 1 or 2 catches in a game at a moment when you kind of need it, and they're trying to take away everybody else, right? I think that's the beauty of a George Pickens being in this offense, is it just slid everybody down. Now, I do think for 1 week, for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, you might be able to get away with that. I don't know if this would be sustainable all season. Now, if Dak keeps playing like he's playing, maybe it is, because Dak is playing out of his mind right now. And I know you said earlier you don't like this narrative that he's never played this well. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, Dak's had some really great seasons through these games so far. Outside of maybe the Chicago game, which the results weren't what you wanted, but if you just isolated his play through 4 games, Dak is playing better than I've ever seen Dak play.
That's a good defense.
Dak is knowing, like he's reading pre-snap. He's making adjustments. He's getting the ball out quick. He's on target. How many times have we seen him this year throw the ball into a covered guy, sometimes into a double covered guy that is covered, and still make and put it in a place where only the receiver can get it, and he makes that catch. Like, that to me is the difference. Dak is playing on another level this year, in my opinion, than he's been before. And that doesn't mean he hasn't had great years. He's had some great years. This year to me is if he keeps playing like this and the Cowboys can figure out their defense enough to where the Cowboys are a playoff caliber team, I think he wins MVP. That's the difference between this year and other years where he may have been the runner-up to the MVP. This year, he is playing a phenomenal level. So when you do that, I think it does help all these receivers. I don't know that these receivers are better than they've been before. I think maybe they're using Turpin a little bit more than they have before. But I think a lot of this comes down to Dak and the play caller they're dialing it up right now, and I think that's really the big difference.
Yeah, and this next 2 or 3, however long weeks is important for all those guys because now they got to separate themselves because when Lamb comes back, it's back to business. But there is going to be room for Mingo and Tolbert and Ryan Florino to kind of fight for their life until Lamb gets back. And when that happens, one of them may not be a part of this thing anymore. So they better take these next few weeks with Dak to try to build a little bit of rapport.
But we also know the NFL. So you need those guys because at some point this year you might have another injury where you need those guys to step up. So all of these opportunities are great, and it just helps continue to develop this offense because the more weapons they got. And I really am excited for somebody like for Jonathan Mingo, because he is a guy that I think he has notoriously throughout his career has not had a quarterback. Man, with Dak playing like he's playing, I want to see Mingo because I think he can maybe do some really good things for this team. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back on tomorrow. We'll dive into Cowboys versus Jets. We will isolate the Jets offense versus the Dallas defense. A lot of things. If you watched that game last night, there are some things to be concerned about. I know the Jets are winless, but there's certainly some things to be concerned about when you talk about the Cowboys defense versus the Jets offense. We'll talk about all that tomorrow. Till then, for Voch Lombardi and Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?